Hey everyone, welcome to Quick Break Games and welcome back to the FPS Boost series on the channel. This is a series where we go through all the LEGO games that have gotten the FPS Boost treatment from Microsoft on the Xbox Series X and S consoles. And this time we're doing, as the title screen suggests there, we're doing LEGO The Hobbit from 2014 originally. So this was an Xbox One game that ran at 30 frames per second. But with this new FPS Boost feature from Microsoft, we're now getting 60 frames per second, actually even up to 120 frames per second for the Series X. So sort of officially, the Series X version can run up to 120 if you're playing on, a proper TV that can handle that. And then on the Series S, you can go up to 60, which, to be honest, 60 is enough for like 99% of people. But for those of you that do have, the equipment to handle it, you can do 120 as well on this game, which is awesome. And this is the title screen, so if you've seen other versions of this video, or versions of this series on the channel, I should say, where we did LEGO Marvel Superheroes and the LEGO movie game, we just kind of show a little bit of footage here, show it at 30 FPS on the left-hand side of the screen, and the right-hand side is going to be the 60 FPS, just so you can kind of see the difference. You can see just how much smoother it is, how much smoother it plays at 60 FPS. And throughout the video, through like 3 or 4 different times throughout this video, there's going to be times where it slows down to half speed. And I think when you slow it down, it becomes a little bit more easy to distinguish, the difference between the frame rates. You'll see it's a lot smoother when you slow it down on the 60 FPS side compared to the 30 FPS side, just so you can really see the difference that you're getting there. And I've said this before, but you can't really show the 120 FPS on YouTube. I don't think YouTube supports 120, which is a shame, because if it did, I really would like to show the 120 FPS mode. But right now we're just kind of stuck to showing 30 and 60. And man, this really does just make a massive difference, because starting in 2011, all these LEGO games were stuck at 30, and now we're getting 60 here on console, which is just great. And yeah, we're just going to be going through all these FPS Boost games. And this is Hobbit. I like this game a lot. This game had some really good graphics. Here you can see it kind of slowed down during this cutscene. This is from what I believe is the last level of the game. And unfortunately, it's the last level of the game. They should have had the third movie in here, but they did not do that. So this was just the second movie, the ending. This is where Smaug's going to come out. You're going to get to see him in 60 frames per second and 30 frames per second on the left side. And there we go. There's his eyeball coming out of the gold coins there. And yeah, this is a really cool cutscene. It's a really cool level too, because you're kind of trying to hide from Smaug. And while he just went into a gold toilet. That's funny. This is a really good game though. So let me know in the comments if you prefer LEGO Lord of the Rings or if you prefer LEGO The Hobbit. I'm not really sure. I'm not a huge fan of the franchise that these games come from. But I think maybe Hobbit is a little bit better of a game. I think they expanded on the open world a bit. But maybe the levels are a bit better on the original version. I'm not sure. Or on Lord of the Rings, I should say. But yeah, let me know what you prefer there. Obviously, the graphics are a lot better on this version. This is the Xbox One generation and PS4 generation. So obviously, it's going to look a bit better than the Lord of the Rings, which was back on the PS3 and Xbox 360. But yeah, this looks really cool. Here I go. I slowed it down here. You can see the studs getting destroyed kind of in slow motion there. Okay, now it's back up to normal speed. But yeah, so I tried to sync up the gameplay. I basically played through the game twice, one in 30 FPS and one in 60 FPS. And I try to kind of match up what I did each time. But, it's not always perfectly exact. So you get to see me flying around. This is the fast travel. So when you fast travel, you get picked up by this bird. And there's a little bit of a... This is technically just a loading screen. But it's kind of cool that it's not just a loading screen. They give you something to watch. You get to fly around. And so you can see kind of flying around in 30 versus 60 there. And we're going to land in the original hub from the first game, where you kind of start out. I guess you start out around here in Hobbiton in this game as well. But here you go. This is kind of the old town, and this is where we're going to switch the time of day. This is another loading screen that you get. I really like how they kind of avoid loading screens in this game. They give you something to watch instead. This was kind of something that you really needed to have, back in the previous generations of consoles. Now that we're on the Xbox Series X and PS5 generation, loading screens are pretty much becoming a thing of the past almost. Like, they're pretty much instant because we have these SSDs now. So here we go, we're ending off the video here soon. But yeah, this was just a look at 30 versus 60 on LEGO The Hobbit. So let me know what you think. Do you like this feature? Does this make you want to get a Series X or a Series S? Let me know in the comments below. And stay tuned for more videos in this series. We're going to be covering all the games that Microsoft has boosted. But I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Brick Games.